The Full Circle Podcast. Compelling interviews and incredible tales from Colorado's western slope, from the mountains to the desert. Christi Reece and her team hear from the movers, shakers, and characters of the Grand Valley and surrounding mountain towns that make the western slope the place we all love. You'll learn, you'll laugh, you'll love with The Full Circle. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Full Circle Podcast. I'm your host, Christi Reece, and today I'm really excited to have some members of our community that have just done so much, and their family name is just woven into the fabric of Grand Junction and the whole valley. And we are going to talk to Lena and Kathy Elliott today. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christi.
I'm so glad you're here. I have taken up tennis just in the last few years, and I am enjoying the sport so much, and I've just read so much about you and heard so much about you, and I appreciate everything you've done for the tennis community. It's been really fun reading about the other things you've done in the community as well.
Thank you.
You came here in 1957, is that right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And where did you move from?
We moved here from California.
Mm-hmm.
We had been in the service in Dover, Delaware for 4 years. And when we got out, we went back to California, but decided that we didn't want to raise a family. Southern Cal had changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we came out to Colorado. The family had a ranch up at the back.
Oh, okay. I was wondering how you found Grand Junction.
We found Grand Junction. Carter's dad, many years ago, came through Colorado and bought a lot of mineral leases and drilled for oil up in the Quebec area.
Interesting.
And they didn't get oil, but they had a lot of minerals and a lot of property. So we came out here and ran the ranch.
Oh, wow. And you had 4 kids?
We had 4 kids.
And one on the way when you
Yes,
arrived?
That's right, we did.
And your husband was a tennis player.
He was.
Already. But you were not yet, is that right?
No, I didn't learn to play tennis till I was pregnant with Tish, with one of the girls, just so that we could play doubles together. So he tried to teach me. Mm-hmm. I think we were on the court about 5 minutes, and then he called it a tennis pro.
I was going to say, who got frustrated first, you or him?
I can't remember, thank God. I can't remember, so...
So what was the tennis scene like here when you got here?
Well, it was interesting. Carter never played tennis in school. He was a big football star.
Oh.
And a small football star. But when we came out, we didn't know a soul here. And we actually picked Grand Junction over Glenwood Springs because we had never gone to a Catholic school, and we wanted our children to. And they had a Catholic school here.
What was the name of that?
St. Joseph's was the Catholic school. So we moved here because of the Catholic school. And then Carter was going to finish his education. He wanted to be a school teacher and a coach. But we were here about a year when his dad passed away at a young age, and left a lot of businesses and the responsibility of 4 sisters. So Carter didn't ever finish college. He kind of took over. And so while we were here, we didn't know anybody when we moved here. And there was a little clip in the paper about a tennis tournament. So Carter said, I'll go and we'll meet people. So he went. Of course, he doesn't want us to tell you this, but he won the tournament. So he was a big star. And all of a sudden, we made a lot of our friends through the tennis, yes.
And at the time, there were courts at Lincoln Park, is that right?
There were about 4 courts at Lincoln Park, and there were 2 courts at the college. Where Robinson Theater is, that's where there were 2 tennis courts.
And you got heavily involved with the college as well.
Oh, yes. I was very involved with higher ed over the year. I never went to college. I was married out of high school. But
and you had 11 children, is that right?
11 children,
And
yes.
Kathy, where are you in that lineup?
I am the oldest girl and the second oldest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were on the scene in Grand Junction early.
Very early.
So, Kathy, what was it like growing up in your family? Tell us a little bit about growing up in early Grand Junction.
We are all so close, but when you're that young, you're not so close. So we were all fighting for whatever we could get, because that's a lot of kids. But I did learn responsibility right away, taking care of the younger ones, changing diapers,
Probably a lot of shared bedrooms.
A lot of shared bedrooms. But I'll tell you what, we are so blessed, and it was a wonderful growing up experience. Wonderful.
You've seen a lot of changes in Grand Junction.
Oh. I left for about 27 years and was teaching over in Greeley, Colorado. And I have been back now for about 12 years. And just even in this 12 years, Chrissy, I can't believe the growth. It's changed so much. But what has improved is the facilities for tennis, because we really are invested in tennis. And if it weren't for Lena busting down doors and hammering people to get things done, we probably wouldn't have the facilities that we have.
So when you arrived on the scene and there was this tournament, what was it called at the time?
I don't even remember. It was just a little Grand Junction. But we made some of our closest friends that, and then it kind of grew into a bigger tennis community, and we needed more courts. And in 1960, we went to the Lions Club and asked them to build 4 tennis courts at the high school. And they did. But 4 courts in 1960, you could build for $50,000.
I can't even imagine what it costs today.
$150 a court.
A court?
And and then Harold Eliff Construction, was a very good friend of tennis, and he built 4 more tennis courts at Lincoln Park, and then eventually built 4 more tennis courts at the college.
Wonderful. And so then this tennis tournament that your husband won, is that the tournament that you kind of then took over organizing?
No, we started that tournament in 58, and Clint Smith, who was an insurance agent here, had a passion for tennis. And he came out to our house one day and he said, "Elliott, you're going to start a tennis club." And I said, "Clint, look at me. I have 4 kids and I'm pregnant. I'm not starting a tennis club." "Yes, you are," he said. And so we did. We started a tennis club. And to join, it cost $2. And, anyway, it kind of grew. And then suddenly, Dykstra, who owned Coca-Cola, went to a big convention in Phoenix, and they had a big tennis tournament. So he came back to town. He said, "I want to hire you to run a tennis tournament." And I said, "Well, I don't want the money, but would you give it to the tennis club?" And that's what got us started. That $1,000 that we got from Dyke was something we were able to build on. And this community is incredible. I mean, they're one thing about our community, and we're so happy that we moved here and raised our family here, is how everybody helps everybody.
I agree.
So when we were out begging for money, the person next to me was begging for money also, and we shared, but we were very, very successful, and we had a lot of tennis players.
And this little tournament grew and grew and grew.
This is our 68th year.
Wow.
68 years.
Now, how is so this is the name of the tournament is
Western Slope.
The Western Slope Open.
Yeah, it used to be Western Slope, and then we called it Coca-Cola, when Dykstra gave us $1,000. Back in those days, $1,000 was $1 million.
It was a big deal.
And then he sold Coke, and his son went to work for Realty World.
I read that Realty World was one of your big sponsors.
And Jim Kennedy, who moved to Grand Junction and bought the Daily Sentinel, was a tennis player. And so we became very close. And Jim said, "I don't like the way they treat you. They don't give you enough money. They don't do this." He says, "Why don't you let the Sentinel take over?" Okay. And so the Sentinel was going to sponsor it. And then Jim called me one day and said, "I want you to meet this guy." And he introduced me to John Moss. And for 20 years, and he said, "John wants Taco Bell to do the tournament, but if he doesn't treat you good,
come back."
Well, John treated us very good for 20 years. he gave us 10 to 12,000 just to run the tournament.
Just to make sure you had the base money to run it every year.
Yeah.
Now, you started playing tennis at what age, Kathy?
Mom and Dad started every one of us at 6 years of age.
Wow.
And we were fortunate enough to have a tennis court on our property. And at 6 years of age, we all got started. And some of us certainly were much better than others. And Sandra is one of them. She actually gave it a go on the pro circuit. She was that good.
Yeah.
And has suffered the consequences of many surgeries because of it. But she was the real player. And the rest of us are imposters, but we fake it pretty good.
But they went to school. Most of our children went to school on tennis or basketball scholarships.
That's great.
Yeah.
So did you play in the Western Slope Open every year?
Oh, every year, or else I was helping with it because it got
Takes
to
a
be
lot of volunteers.
It takes a lot of volunteers. So
Well, Kathy coached at Greeley for years.
17 years in Greeley coaching
At
tennis.
high school?
At the high school level, yeah.
That's wonderful.
So it means a lot to us. It really does.
Well, and I want to thank you for continuing, just to make sure that tennis is a part of this community and other communities, because I think some people think maybe it's a sport that's not accessible to them.
Yeah.
But it really is for anybody.
It is. And I'll tell you, I've been around a lot of communities, especially on the Eastern Slope, and they don't take care of their courts like we do. And it is so nice to see people come here from out of town, and they'll play here and they'll go, we haven't played on such nice facilities. Well, thanks to us, and Lena especially, we keep these courts looking good.
Everything we do, all the tournaments and the programs we run, we take that money and we put it back into the facilities. So
nice.
Yeah,
we're very fortunate.
We are very fortunate, and that is where this Parks and Rec has worked very well with Lena, and we keep the money for leagues, but we give it back to them in the form of we buy the windscreens, we buy the nets, we buy the net straps, we buy the benches, we do whatever.
Everything.
Because if we turn that money over to them with no guidelines, it would not go back into tennis, I don't believe.
Well, I tried it the first year. I gave him a check, and then I see the net still had holes. I said, that's it. We'll buy everything.
We'll do that.
We do it for all the courts in town.
That's amazing.
The city, the college.
And my son and my daughter have played with me a little bit, and my son and I were going to Denver, and I said, let's take our rackets, we can go find a court and hit. But we are so spoiled with Canyon View. You can go out there almost any time and get on a court, and it's in great condition. And we drove around Denver looking for a place to play, and it was
not easy,
sketchy. and not very good conditions. You kind of have to belong to a club there to be able to play on a nice court. So we're very fortunate here, and I like sharing that, but I also we don't want everybody in the world coming here, and then we won't be able to play as much tennis as we want. The courts will be full.
We'll just build more tennis courts.
Yep.
Now, the Western Slope Open got to be so big at one point, and it was sponsored by Taco Bell, right? And a lot of people thought it was they called it the Taco Bell Open.
They still talk.
They do.
In fact, they still write checks out to the Taco Bell. We have to go send it in the bank. We can't help it.
Yeah.
But it just got to be a little too much, didn't it?
I'll tell you what we did. We wanted our kids here to be exposed to other players. So Marie and Wayne Nelson, Wayne was the coach at the college, said, let's invite people from other states. So we invited they had a contact in New Mexico. And so we said, bring a bunch of kids up here, we'll house them. Well, the first year it was nice, they brought about 20 kids.
And they loved it so much.
The next year they brought 2 busloads. So we were all over town begging people to house these kids. And I really thought we were going to be run out of town. So we finally went back to the drawing table and and it was so big, we used every court in town, people were all over and it wasn't a quality, we couldn't run a quality tournament and have everybody have fun because they were looking for a court. Where do I stay? It was ugly. And so we decided, let's just take care of our own. So that's when we became the Western Slope. So we really just cater to the Western Slope. And it's something we can manage. And everybody has a great time.
Back there when it all started, Christi, USTA was not big. People weren't joining leagues. People were looking for tournaments to go have fun. And that brought in a lot of people. USTA has gotten so out of hand that they're offering 7, 8 leagues a summer. And our folks in the whole state are not going and playing tournaments. They're already playing too much.
Well, I'll tell you, what I don't like about leagues, although leagues they feed us, so we wouldn't be able to do what we do without the league fees. But they have destroyed social tennis.
They have.
You know, when we were here, we'd pick up a phone to say, let's go hit tonight. You never see people just going out to hit for fun.
Yeah.
It's all competitive.
That interesting perspective. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah,
Because for me, my league is super social and I love it. I love all the ladies. And in fact, we all talk about, well, we want to get better, but we don't want to move up because we don't want to change teams. We like the people we play with so much.
That's a common theme. A lot of people do like that.
What we like to hear.
Yeah.
So how many people will participate in the Open this year?
Hopefully around 200, 250.
That's a great size.
Which is just a perfect number for us, yes.
That's wonderful. Well, I want to circle back around to your involvement in higher education, Lena. What inspired you to get involved with?
Well, you know, it's interesting. When we came here, Mesa was just a little junior college.
And a good one.
And the best. In fact, I was one of the people who battled the chamber and the community. I did not want us to go to a 4-year school because we were one of the best 2-year schools anywhere.
Yeah.
But, you know, Progress and the chamber. Anyway, we became 4-year. And I was real close friends with Sam Simplizio and Herb Bacon, and they were on the junior college board. So naturally, they had an idea in a minute, and I was the one scrambling around. So that was my introduction to higher ed. And then a few years later, Bill Foster was a legislator, and he was fed up with CCHE, the committee that controls all the colleges. So he and Sam decided that I should get on this board and shape these guys up. So they put my name in, and I have to go. And I said, I never spent a day in college, and I'm going to be on the CCHE board. You got to be kidding me. So he, Jim Robb, all these guys said, Lena, Tilly Bishop, we're all going to be there holding your hand when they question you. And so then, flying colors, you'll be appointed. So I go for my hearing, and the person ahead of me didn't show up. So my hearing was 15 minutes.
Got moved up.
So I walk in this room, all these old men who look like they should have a cigar in their mouth, ties
looking down at you.
Who is this lady? You know? And they said, who are you? And I was petrified. I said, well, my name is Lena Elliott, and at the time I think we had 8 or 9 kids. You know, I said, my name is Lena Elliott, and I'm a mother of 9. And they all looked at me and they said, what? And I said, but it's okay, I'm married. Well, they did exactly what you did, and they just loved me. They never asked me a question. So that's how I got
You said you're in.
So I started on CCHE for years, and then I loved the junior college. And I went to the junior college board for 9 years because they really help. Not everybody needs a 4-year education.
Right. It's really nice to have different opportunities here and options.
And so then I went there, and then Tim, when Tim took over Mesa, he says, you got to get off the junior college and come on Mesa. So,
And was that when you joined the foundation?
No,
Or
I did the foundation at the college years before I went on the board. Me and Hart Chirp took the foundation away from the college and did it separate because we didn't like the way the college was spending our money. But anyway, Tim came back. He says, "You got to come on the board," So I left the junior college and came out.
I was really interested to read how there was such a brouhaha over Tim Foster. I didn't know this story because, when I came to town and he was doing, I don't know if I have to look at the years that he was president, but 17,
look at what we would not have what we have today.
What an amazing campus.
It was just that faculty really feel they should pick their president. And in fairness to the faculty, usually you bring 2 or 3 candidates to
that
campus,
are already in the,
and then they look at everybody and tell you what they think. Well, when we interviewed, I was chair at the time. I said, let's vote and see where we are. Everybody on our board voted Tim number 1. And Charlie Mofford, who owns the Rockies, Charlie said, "Why are we wasting our time? We want to hire Tim. Let's do it." So we only took Tim to the campus. Oh my God, the faculty went crazy, absolutely crazy. Oh, they keyed my car.
That's what I read. They keyed your car.
They were vicious. But you know what? About 3 years later, the faculty called me one day to come down. It was an emergency, and I went down there, and they had the roof filled with faculty flowers, and they were so happy that Tim gave them all a raise.
That helps. But, when you realize good work is being done.
Nobody could have accomplished. When we took over that college, we didn't know how we were going to pay the faculty their wages.
Honestly, I don't know how you all did what you did.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you, thank goodness we had Charlie Mofford and Steve Meyer from Shaw Construction. And they took our budget and all the finances and just worked magic, I'll tell you.
Amazing.
But it's so important to our community. And look where we are today.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, so proud of that university in our town.
Oh, we're lucky to have a university. So, enough about me.
No, I want this to be all about her.
Well, I was going to ask you, Kathy, what's it been like growing up with Lena? I mean, she's a force of nature, your mom.
No pressure at all, but she really is quite amazing, and we are all very blessed, and we still have her at 93 and my dad at 95, and it is a blessing, it really is, but it's been fun, and our whole family is very close, and we are all invested in continuing this for however long we can.
What do you think are the qualities that your mom has that has made her able to handle and do all the things that she's done in her life? And I read, I don't know if it was that you didn't take no for an answer, or when you knew what you wanted, you knew how to get it.
I have to tell you, one thing, if I'm going to do something, I always go right to the top. I start at the top. What could they do? Hang up the phone or shut the door. But I'm not going to work my way up.
That's what's so amazing, and this is for all those people out there that don't want to go to college. You don't have to go to college to do amazing things. You don't. You just have to be driven, and you have to have a mission, and she's always had that.
But, Christy, another thing that was easy for me, when you volunteer, if this was my job to be a fundraiser, it's a whole different environment than somebody who volunteers. When I go in and say I want money, I finally have everybody trained. They just say how much, But
I see you coming.
It's easier when you don't. None of that money it's all used to go back to help somebody. So it wasn't as hard as it may sound to people. Raising money was pretty easy for me.
Yeah.
It still is. So,
Well, You have a lot of energy.
Well, thank goodness. Yes.
All right. Well, I do want to talk about Kathy because you've been quite honored in the tennis community, and I read that you were adamant that this was not going to happen, that you didn't want to be honored.
No. Yeah. We all work together, and I think of what Carla Coles is doing, running our USTA right now, because that is a thankless job. And I got out of it because it was too hard running Grand Junction Tennis Club with my mom. And so Carla and I work very closely together, and she does a great job. But it takes everybody. It really does. And it's not one person. Except for Lena. But other than that, it is the rest of us working together to try to make tennis grow and to make sure people enjoy it and that our facilities are top notch.
Well, the politicians in town are proud of our facilities.
Yes.
And they appreciate what our city council person, Stout, last year.
Anna.
She said, when we dedicated the courts, she said, a lot of people come to the city council and ask us for things all the time. But when the tennis players and the pickleball players came, they brought money to the table. And
That's amazing.
It really, for me, I thought they really do appreciate when you go and say, I've got this money.
See,
Let's be partners.
I look back on the foresight she had when I was still in Greeley. And even in 1957, 58, she started this club.
Yeah.
And right away she told Parks and Rec, I watched what you did that one time with our check. From now on, the money comes to us, and we make sure it's used for tennis. And that has been a great partnership with the Parks and Rec because they would probably be getting anywhere from $15,000 higher from the fees for USTA, but it would not go back to tennis. And that's the disappointment.
Well,
And if they don't play tennis, they may not understand the priorities and what's important to put the money into.
Well, I was on Parks and Rec when we did Caddy View, and we were supposed to have 12 courts. And we finished Caddy View with 6 courts. They never finished the other 6. And I kept knocking at the door of the city manager. And so finally I ignored them. I invited all the city council out to a luncheon. And I set up a luncheon on the 6 tennis courts. And I said, see that ground? You owe me 6 more tennis courts. But it worked. I mean, that was the finishing touch for it.
Good for you.
We're getting those 12 courts resurfaced right now out there.
Oh, they're going to be beautiful.
It's taken Lena literally 3 years of hammering them to get it in the budget. And every year we're there at those city council. When is it going to be on the budget? When? And we are way past due. So it happened because she wouldn't let it go. And we are going to have 12 new courts. Thank goodness.
Listen, we couldn't do it without Kathy's energy. She's running all over the place, making sure the courts are here.
And having the Grand Junction High School courts, that was going to be 4 courts only. Lena wouldn't have that. She went to them and said, are you going to build half a baseball field? Are you going to build half of a football field? No, we need 6 courts. And we got those 6 courts, and it's helped our community greatly.
Yes. So how do you feel about pickleball?
Oh, I think it's great. But most of the pickleball players are old tennis players who can't move anymore. I think it's wonderful that they're out on the courts playing, you know.
I do too. And I remember when Lincoln Park started to get crowded and it was like, oh, this is going to be trouble. But thank goodness we
have worked very closely with the pickleball people. And they've been, actually, they had me throw the first ball out at one of their new courts.
Wonderful.
Because we work real closely with them. And Kathy spends a lot of time with them. And we have a great relationship, so it's good.
So just recently, the Elliott Tennis Center was dedicated. And what does that mean to you and your family?
Well, for me and Carter, we were so pleased that they included the whole family, you know, because I'm out there ranting and raving, but it's my family who does all the work, you know. And so it was. What
a great honor.
It was.
Emily told me about it in December of last year, and it had to be a secret. And we waited until they got everything organized, and then we finally told Mom and Dad about it. But that is a wonderful thing, because Mom and Dad are still here to enjoy that, and we're just very excited about it.
It's such a legacy, and I'm very proud to be part of the tennis community, and I know how much you all have put into it and made it easy for the rest of us who just get to enjoy it now.
Yeah. Well, that's the enjoyment we get. When we drive around, we always drive by the tennis courts, and I want to see people on the tennis court.
Yes.
It's a great sport, and you meet incredible people.
Yes.
I mean, our family has traveled the world by playing tennis and met wonderful, wonderful people.
Do you like going to other tennis tournaments? Do you like going to
we
watch?
used to. Carter and I finally learned how to play after 5 or 6 children. And Carter and I played a lot. And we competed in a lot of tournaments in Denver.
But have you ever been to like the U.S. Open, or do you go to?
Carter and Sandra played at the U.S. Open.
Oh, wow.
He also played at the U.S. Open with Julie. And I played at the U.S. Open with Sandra.
And this is way back when they did these...
Equitable insurance.
Equitable insurance went out and found people, and you could put in your name, and you get invited.
You had to, won locally, and then you had to win state, and then you had to win a regional. So we had to, it took weeks to get there, but we won it on and went back to New York, and they won the us. My gosh, we were at the Waldorf Astoria. And when you got to your room, they had $100 bills on the bed.
What?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
It was
spending money. And they don't do it anymore because it's too expensive. But back then, that was wonderful.
So we got to play at the U.S. Open, and it was incredible. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I guess I want to say, as good as what we've given to tennis, we have gotten much more than what we've given. Trust me.
Well, Grand Junction's a wonderful place to live, and I know that the people see the good work that you've done, and they appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you listening to us. So thank you. Yeah.
I got into tennis because I was looking for a sport for my daughter. And I said, let's go take a tennis lesson. And so we hired a young man from CMU who was on the team at the time and took a couple lessons. And my daughter said, I don't think I'm going to continue. I said, really? I love it. I can't stop.
Good for you.
It didn't take very long.
Okay.
How many gals do you have on your team?
I think 8 right now, but I'm playing in the 55 and over and the 40 and over league.
40 and over, yeah.
And then Twilight start soon. So
I tell you, they sit up nights thinking of more
things to...
Well, that's such a moneymaker for them.
Well, and it took me a while to get into the league play because it's hot playing in the evenings around here, and I like to play in the mornings when it's cool. So the girls had to talk me into league play, but I do like the social aspect of it, so I get out there and just learn how to manage the heat. But Grand Junction's got such a good climate year-round, and this past winter, boy, we played
all winter
long in our shorts. And we don't want that to happen again. We want the snow, but it was a good tennis winter.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And keep on doing what you're doing, enjoying tennis and enjoying life and enjoying this community.
So many wonderful people. I'm glad to meet you.
Thank you. You too. All right, everyone. This is Christi Reece with Kathy and Lena Elliott. Thank you so much for being here today. We'll see you next time on the Full Circle Podcast. Bye. Thanks for listening. This is Christi Reece signing out from the Full Circle Podcast.